Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Nancy Drew Midnight in Salem. Just a quick couple of things before we start this video. First of all, this part is unfortunately not going to be blind. I recorded some footage, about 35 minutes or so worth of footage, and unfortunately the game froze and it had to be pretty much closed out, which then cut off the recording and then corrupted it. That's a big bummer. I was kind of a little bit sad about that, but thankfully nothing too spoilery happened like what we saw in the last video. Mainly just conversations this time around. The second thing is, I received a comment correcting some information that was false that I gave in a previous video. Let me sure I'm getting this right. Sylvana's W Runner, or I guess it could just be Sylvana's Runner, said that Deirdre's voice actress is still the same, which is pretty cool. So, even though they changed Nancy's voice actress, looks like Deirdre still has the same one. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, we are now awake on the second day of our time here in Massachusetts. First things first, let's check to see if there's anything suspicious here in the ceiling. Doesn't look like it.
A good night's rest improves memory retention, but it's too early for bed.
That is true. We've got things to do today. Let's see what our phone says here. Help with breakfast. Alright. We did get an update on that last night, but we didn't look at it. Nobody's here. I guess May is in the kitchen. Oh, hey! We got company.
Oh my, oh my, oh my, not good, not good, not good!
It's the Hardys!
Oh, what are you guys doing in here?
And they're starting a fire.
They're trying their best to unimpress me. Mission accomplished.
Nancy! Hi! Joe was just, making an effort.
Oh, that's what that smell is.
I tried showing him the ropes, but he wants to prove he can do it without my help.
Tegan set out the ingredients for Johnny cakes before she had to run, but I gotta admit, it's been a while since I last whipped something up. Successfully.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love Johnny cakes. I can help.
Of course you can. All right, Hardy, step down before we have another fire on our hands.
Alright. So let's go and take a look at what we got here.
All right, let's see. Step 1. 1 cup of sugar. 1 cup of sugar. 2 tablespoons of sugar. This can't be right.
I told you I couldn't keep up with her, so I improvised. I'm 100% certain about the amounts, though.
Let's approach this sensibly. What do we need?
Sensibly. Alright, so here is what I'm not really certain about with this puzzle. It says interact, but I actually can't seem to interact with anything on the paper. So I think what you're supposed to do is just logic this out, which is what I ended up doing. So we know that it's not flour, sugar, salt, or baking powder. Or, yeah, it's not flour, sugar, or salt. Now, cornmeal gets mentioned here, and it's actually out here, but it's not on the list of actual ingredients, which is really weird. So I had to assume that this is cornmeal. Like, that makes the most sense. There's no way it's baking powder. There's not a recipe that's 1 cup of baking powder. 1 cup of flour or sugar. Well, we have sugar down here. So we can safely cross this out, and it's probably flour. So that leaves either baking powder or salt here, and we know that this isn't baking powder, so therefore it must be salt, which means that this is baking powder. So let's go through these in order.
1 cup of cornmeal.
Looks right to me.
Thankfully, the characters do tell you whether or not you're getting these correct. If you get something wrong, you can just use this and scrub out the bowl.
1 cup of flour.
Looks right to me.
1 spoon of sugar.
Just
We're
a
getting there.
spoonful of sugar
spoon
helps the
of
batter
sugar.
get made.
We're getting there.
1 spoon of baking powder.
Looks right to me.
1 teaspoon of salt.
We're getting there.
Alright.
That looks great. Let's tackle the next step.
All right. Second step. We have to fill the bowl until the weight is just right.
Quick heads up. This is about where things started to go south last time.
Hey!
Let's just trust that Nancy knows what she's doing.
Yeah, we know what we're doing, right? Alright, milk 8 ounces, melted butter half an ounce, egg question mark, vanilla 0.2 ounce. Don't forget a dash of nutmeg question mark. Alright. So let's use all these. There's our 8 ounces of milk, half an ounce of butter, That's 0.1 ounce of vanilla, but we need 0.2. And right now we are exactly 3 ounces off from the target. So 1 egg takes 1.5 ounces, so that means we need 2 eggs, not just 1 egg. And let's add that nutmeg. There we go.
That looks great. Let's tackle the next step.
We don't actually get to see ourselves mixing it. We just go straight to
Finally,
cooking.
my favorite part.
I thought your favorite part was eating.
My next favorite part.
Dear goodness.
Joe, could you help me pour while I flip?
Sure thing.
We haven't flipped things since White Wolf of Icicle Creek, right? So we have to wait till they're steaming hot, and then we flip them. This one should be next. Oh, that one gets plated. There we go.
This is going great. I think.
Yeah, I think it's going pretty well as well. Thankfully, this is pretty simple. We just have to get all of these
Almost
served
done.
here.
All done. They look super tasty. Let's eat.
And I guess we're going to forget about all those. So the game actually allows you to go back here and go through like a whole book of pancake recipes. I'm not going to show that here, but we're just going to go ahead and get right to eating.
Ooh, these smell delicious.
Great job, Nancy.
These look amazing.
Okay. Nay. These are the Hardy brothers, Frank and Joe.
We're very interested in your case.
Uh-huh. They're good friends of mine. They're going to help us with the investigation. The more people we have working on this, the better chance we have of solving the case.
Cool.
Joe, you need to learn how to cook. Maybe let Frank teach you. Otherwise, how are you going to impress anyone?
Solving crimes impresses people.
So does committing them. What? It's true. Not saying I'm impressed by that. Just stating a fact.
Sure.
I prefer someone who possesses a deep intellectual appreciation and table manners.
You want to be impressed? We should finally show her our business plan for our new business. What? It's very businessy.
Come on, Joe. You just can't attach the word business in front of stuff.
Well, Joe and I have been talking recently about making things a bit more official. Since we're always called to solve crimes, we thought that maybe we should start getting paid for it.
That'd be cool.
We're starting our very own detective agency. License, insurance, the whole thing. And
we want to know if you'd be interested in being a partner.
Ooh.
Partner?
Hey, table that. All right, Drew. Why not update everyone on where we're at?
So, I guess you're wondering about the thing I mentioned.
yes, sounds super exciting.
I already told them about the whole sighting.
Yeah, I can't explain it. Yet.
Even with the most modern scientific techniques available, there are many phenomena that we still cannot explain. I believe what you saw was real.
What?
What?
Sure, some sort of combination of gaseous blow-off and light refraction.
No, supernatural. A ghost, a real ghost, with thoughts and memory and agency.
I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
I just built some new equipment that I'd love to try out.
Oh boy.
I'm sure it's nothing, but we'll go to the cemetery today and investigate anyway. Maybe we can add ghost hunting to our detective services. Kidding.
Who are you gonna call? The Hardys!
One thing I'd like to do today is check the town archives.
If it's all the same to you, I'd prefer to handle this. You were gonna look into the history of ownership of the Hathorn house, right?
Yeah, sure. We can go together.
No. It's better if I handle this solo. I'm a whiz with microfiche. Don't ask me why.
Sounds like a story.
And I'm not going to tell it to you. Okay?
Aww.
So, Nancy, what do you think we should focus on for the investigation?
We need to focus on not eating as many pancakes as... Well, actually, wait a minute. We need to eat more pancakes. Look at this. We've only got like 1 pancake a person here. I guess that's what this big stack is for. But still, we need to focus on eating more pancakes. And Joe, you need to eat more pancakes because you need to eat more than just cheeseburgers.
The arson that happened last week.
And we haven't had the chance to collect any alibis yet.
We need to ask everyone we've met where they were on the night of the arson. Corroborating their answers with whomever they were with will help bring into focus who is and isn't a suspect.
Also, we've got the burglary or whatever happened at the courthouse.
Judge Danforth mentioned that he was the victim of a burglary.
What was stolen?
We don't know.
The judge was working with Tegan on developing a case for the Accused Witches organization.
The what?
The descendants of the accused witches of the 1692 Salem witch trials. They're staking a claim to the Hathorn estate due to unjust dispossession and execution of their ancestors. It's one of the reasons I searched for the Book of Apologies in Austria, as it contains a record of wronged families. But someone swiped it right under my nose. And around the time of the arson, there was a burglary at the judge's office.
Too coincidental not to be connected.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I'd like to review the crime scene at the courthouse for any clues.
The judge might not let you do that. He didn't sound very forthcoming.
True. But maybe my father can convince him.
Ooh.
They're old friends. I can give him a call.
All right. What else?
We need to figure out how the theft from Mosam Castle is connected to this case.
Yeah.
Theft of what?
The Book of Apologies. My dad asked me to retrieve it from Mosam Castle in Austria, as a favor for Judge Danforth, who works here in Salem. It details all the victims of the witch trials, some of which are still unknown to this day.
However, this book was stolen as well, 3 days ago, when Nancy was there.
Hey,
Why
that
was
doesn't
this
mean
book
that
all the
we
way
were
in
doing it.
Austria?
Great question.
The resident historian told me the judge who wrote the book willed all his belongings to be preserved by whichever museum would have them at the time. That must be how it ended up in an Austrian castle, for safekeeping.
Well, that certainly didn't stop the thief, whoever it is.
I can ask around about alibis during this time period as well. See if anyone in town can't be accounted for. Might point us in the right direction.
Yeah.
I have something to add. Whoever is responsible for this crime is going to great lengths to cover it up. We don't know if these people are dangerous. Remember that. And be careful.
I guess we're just gonna leave the pancakes out there. Alright. May's back here. Hey, May.
Hey, are you feeling any better about the case?
Nope.
We're going to find out who did this, May. I promise.
If you say so. Look, thanks for breakfast. I just want to say, I know you're trying to help, but I think you're wasting your time.
Yeah, it seems like May is really intent on dissuading us from investigating stuff in order to protect somebody.
You said you used to hang out at the Hathorn house, right?
Uh-huh.
Did you ever see anything strange when you were there?
Like ghosts?
Yeah.
No. Never.
Oh, okay.
That was a pretty quick answer.
Do you feel ready to talk about your alibi?
I don't even have a passport. I don't go anywhere, so I wasn't in Austria, if that's what you're thinking.
And on the night of the arson? Giving us your alibi would help you so much.
She really doesn't want to tell us about what happened on the night of the arson.
People tell me there's a good reason to suspect you, but no one can say why.
Isn't it obvious? I've got a burn mark covering the entire side of my face and like most of my arms. It must be me.
I'm sorry that happened to you, and I'm sorry if people judge you for your burns.
I prefer it to pity.
Would you tell me what happened?
There was a fire. I was in it.
We know that
I'm not
much.
trying to pry. It's just that so far, the main cause for suspecting you of the Hathorn fire seems to be this previous one. I only want to understand.
I was 9. It was an old shed, and I wasn't supposed to play in it. It was kind of a den full of stuff, like candles. I got stuck inside. You can work out the rest.
Candles?
So it was an accident. You were just a kid. Harsh to suspect you now because of something you didn't mean to happen.
Don't make me talk about it more.
Okay. Thank you for telling me, May.
So there's more.
Talk to you later.
Interesting. Seems like a bunch of important information that's connected to the case somehow. Alright, so we got a whole bunch of stuff to do here. Getting a key to the Hawthorne house, breaking up the courthouse that we need to look into, gathering alibis for the book theft and the arson. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get going here. Deirdre is not right behind us, so I guess we're going to be tackling today on our own. That'll be kind of nice, getting to be back on our lonesome again. See if anything's also changed at the town square, too. That might be worth checking out. We can also go see Lauren's shop, too, right? Looks like Olivia's gone. The protesters aren't, though. Yep, nothing's changed here.
Huh.
Actually, I'm going to go over to the museum first and visit Tegan. Oh, and we got a text. User has been added to the chat. The famous Nancy Drew finally arrived to solve our ghostly conundrums. What is this? We're trying to figure out what could have caused you to see a ghost. Oh, it's the Hardys. Maybe an actual ghost. Is he always like this? Like this? Only on the good days. Hey, I'm here, you know. We know. We know. That sounds like something I would say. Aw, so cute. Dude. I'm gonna go follow some leads. Good luck! Let us know if you need anything. Don't worry, I will. Spook Squad, that's the name of their group chat. I didn't notice that last time. Alright, let's talk to Tegan, see what's going on with her.
Nancy, hey, how's the investigation going?
Pretty well. You know, it would really help if I could get May to talk to me.
She hasn't given her alibi yet.
Not yet.
No. And everyone seems to have one, except her.
Everyone? Is it possible that it could be someone from outside of town? A visitor or something?
Absolutely. But statistically speaking, crime is rarely a random occurrence.
It's a mystery to me. You have anything you wanted to talk about?
You know, that's a good point, because the only other person I can think of who's outside of town that we know about is the historian, Dr. Elizabeth, what's her name, from the Austria Castle. And I mean, it's theoretically plausible that she could have gone into the old house that we found the book in and faked the whole being scared thing when she was there. I am a little doubtful about that, though, because we didn't actually see her, and she doesn't have, like, a picture on her phone, so I'm wondering if the game is intentionally trying to avoid creating a character model for her. That does seem a little bit like a weird reason to logic that out, but I don't know. It's possible, though.
What's the history behind the Hathorne estate?
Right. Well, Judge John Hathorne was born and raised in Salem. His father was a decorated military man who had many real estate holdings throughout New England. And when Judge Hathorne became a justice, he tried to expand those holdings. Much of the land that the Hathorne estate was built on was actually seized property from accused witches.
So awful. I think the land stealing part was even mentioned in Olivia's tour.
It was.
Didn't expect her to actually care about the history. At the time, no one made the connection, not even in court documents. But it happened.
Do you think the fire is somehow related to Salem's history with witches?
What do you mean?
Like, is it meant as a symbolic gesture? Because that's how most witches died?
That was a European thing. No, they were more civilized in the New World. We hung our witches. Short drop, so they slowly choked to death.
Oof.
A couple more died in custody awaiting trial, and one, an elderly man who refused to testify, was pressed to death.
pressed?
Yeah. They put a bunch of heavy stones on top of you. Over a period of days.
Oof.
That's horrible.
She did not know the weight until she felt the freedom. Scarlet Letter. Also a descendant of Judge Hathorne.
Hey, I recognize
Except
that
Nathaniel
quote.
Hawthorne was so horrified with his family's history that he added a W to change it.
Wow. The focus on descendants isn't really something they teach you in school.
Yep. We think our world is so much more advanced now, but we have a hard time escaping our past.
Where were you on the night of the fire?
I was at my boyfriend's watching a movie. Here, this is his number. You can ask him.
Have you been dating Damien for a long time?
Yeah, a couple years, I think. I like him. I mean, I really do. He listens to me. Yeah, he's great.
Was he with you the whole night?
I mean, most of the night. I don't think he's capable of arson, if that's what you're suggesting.
You trust him?
Absolutely. 100%. Go ahead, call him. You'll see.
You were awfully quick to, like, come up with that whole list of qualities about him. I don't know. She was like, yeah, he's great. We're fine. We're good. Everything's good. It was kind of like, I don't know. That seemed a little too just thrown together. You know what I mean?
There was this photo tucked away in the guest room.
Now I'm really embarrassed. Such an awkward age.
Yeah, what about that?
Is that Olivia and Lauren in the picture with you?
Yeah, we were pretty tight back then. Had to take pictures.
I couldn't tell where it was taken. Do you remember? There were lots of books and candles.
It was probably the... I don't know. Books and candles are everywhere in Salem. It could be anywhere. It was years ago. I don't really remember.
That seems to be a little evasive. Also, candles?
How did Francis Tuttle come to own the property?
Ms. Tuttle bought it 30 years ago, cheap. It was falling apart. The former owners couldn't be located, so it was auctioned. She was a bit of a kooky lady living in a ruin like that, but she was kind. I mean, she took in Lauren like a daughter.
Yeah.
That says something about someone, doesn't it?
I agree. Do you remember what you were doing 3 nights ago?
3 days ago? Well, I was probably working here. Why?
You were working at the museum. Can anyone confirm that?
Well, I'm always here.
But was anyone else here?
May was home all day, laying low, and Olivia wasn't here either. I don't know where she was, to be honest. You'll have to ask her.
So no one can confirm that? And you're sure May was at home?
She's barely left the house since the incident. People here treat her like she has an infectious disease. It's awful. And I don't blame her if she wants to sit at home on her phone all day. Ugh. Her parents need to come home. Soon.
Sounds like it.
So, I gotta ask. What do you get out of this?
I get a lot.
Really? You travel around, talk to all these people, deal with all their problems, put yourself in harm's way?
Not always. Alright, some of the time. I don't know. It's like there's these small obstacles that I enjoy working on, and they're interesting. But what I really love is the puzzle of humanity. What makes people tick? Why do people do what they do? It's always the hardest one to crack, because sometimes we do things that don't make sense. We're inherently irrational. Know what I mean?
You know, there's a theory about why these specific women were persecuted as witches. Some people believe that ergot, which is a fungus that grows in cereal grains, might have gotten into the food supply. It poisons anyone who eats it. Hallucinations, circulation issues, seizures. It would have made people look like they were possessed.
Hallucinations?
Or made the judges think they were doing God's will. Or make the whole town go haywire.
A rational explanation for irrational behavior.
Just a theory. We'll never know. Anyway, I don't want to keep you. Thanks for stopping by.
You're welcome. Oh, wait a minute. We've got something here about May.
Can you tell me about the accident May was in when she was a kid?
Why do you need to know that? How is it important?
I didn't think it was, but everyone else sees reason to believe May is the one who burned Hathorne House. So that makes it important, I know.
It started with the arson, and she has other convictions on her juvenile record as well.
Other?
What happened?
It was an old shed near our home. May was about 9 or so. She was in it one night. She shouldn't have been. Playing with candles, a lighter, I don't know. It caught fire. She was charged.
She was so young.
I feel responsible. She shouldn't even have been there, and I'm the older sister.
It's not your fault. I'm sorry to upset you. It helps me to understand.
Just don't talk to May about it, please.
So, was May, like, trapped in there and she was trying to burn her way out by using the candles, or was that an accident?
Talk to you later.
Okay, good. It didn't freeze this time. Excellent. So I guess that was an unusual thing. Oh, hey, we can go in here now. I didn't notice this before. Is Olivia... Yeah, Olivia's in here this time. And here's those flyers, but they're all blown up into posters over here. Hey, Olivia.
You're back! Great. Let me guess. More questions?
Spooky how you could tell.
Though it harm none, do as thou wilt.
Okay.
I'm saying I guess it can't do any harm.
I guess.
I've been going around asking everyone in town where they were on the night of the arson.
The night of the what?
Arson? At Hathorn House?
Oh yeah, you don't think it's
Why,
arson.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Kidding, Nancy. Don't look so serious. I was here that night, doing my thing. I think there had to have been at least 20 people who can confirm that. It really stinks that Lauren is going to lose her home.
Well, we'll see.
Maybe.
Yeah, of course.
So, I've heard ghosts are haunting Salem.
Of course.
You believe it?
Yeah, because
How
of
could
the
I
coven,
not when
right?
I've seen them with my own eyes.
Really? Can you describe what you saw?
Sure. It was dark, foggy. I was walking through the cemetery. Or was it the town square? I don't remember, but I do remember a ghost. No, multiple ghosts.
Multiple?
Spirits.
And did you ever see any ghosts near Hathorn House?
As a matter of fact, I did.
Ooh.
I told you that a coven of witches unleashed them on the town a few years back. They will not rest until they get their vengeance. Let me guess. You can't find proof of a living soul present at the house the night it burned. Maybe the culprit wasn't among the living?
That sounds even harder to prove.
Have you seen The Restless Souls of Salem, Nancy?
I've seen something, but I'm not willing to just believe it's real. I need more.
Be careful. They'll still find you whether you believe in them or not. You might want to avoid the cemetery.
Yeah, I'm not really buying the dramatics here.
3 days ago, were you doing any witch tours?
3 days ago? No, I was not.
Okay. You remember what you were doing?
Actually, I had won a spa holiday at the Wayfarer Inn over in Marblehead. It was amazing. They used those glass cup things on my back. It was wicked crazy.
Oh. You have any receipts or...
It was all expenses paid. And I'd show you my back, but I'm a quick healer. Witch powers. It looks like it never happened. You know, I had a flyer for the spa, but I threw it away this morning. Sorry, I know I'm not being helpful.
It's okay. You are. Thanks.
I mean, I guess we can always call the hotel.
It's about you, Tegan, and Lauren, when you were kids.
Why are you interested in this? We grew apart. It happens.
I found an old photo from back then. It had the name Coven on it. Look. Was it the one you talk about in your show?
You found this photo at Tegan's house? I didn't peg her as sentimental.
So was it the same one?
Yeah, I've been
Well,
wondering about that.
Yes. Same coven. We heard about it as kids, I guess. We were all into history and witches. We still are.
But you're not the coven.
And yet you've never made up.
I don't get why you care.
Can't help it. It's a mystery, even if you all tell me it isn't.
See, it's stuff like this that's making me wonder, like, if all three of these women are innocent. Because, like, this feels like a story thread at the end of the game is going to be like, and we made up and everything is all good, you know?
See you later.
I'm hoping that one of them is actually the guilty party. That would be interesting, but right now I'm beginning to suspect it's the judge. Either the judge or the professor lady. And the reason why I'm thinking about the professor lady is mainly because of the fire being used as something symbolic, and it was done in Europe but not America, according to Tegan, and the fact that that is the case makes me wonder if she is a suspect, just because she would know about that, whereas most people here, other than Tegan, don't seem to really have the context for that.
Hey there, girl. Can't tell if you're supposed to be cute or creepy.
Hey, is that a robot cat, like the one we saw in Shadow at the Water's Edge and Deadly Device? Ooh, we got a whole bunch of stuff here to look at. Lanterns and stuff. Can we look at the shelves? Looks like we got a bunch of merchandise. She's even got her own t-shirts. Wow, this lady has got it all. I don't really see anything that we can actually interact with, though. Oh, hey, we got stuff here. We got Cocoa Kringles. Heck yeah. We love those Cocoa Kringle bars. If you haven't ordered a real-life Cocoa Kringle bar from Her Interactive, I really hope they do their Cocoa Kringle thing again, where you get to like buy a game and get a chocolate bar, because those bars are actually pretty decent. Like they're pretty legit. All right, so we talked to the two of them. We still need to talk to Lauren though, so let's go over to the shop over there, since we haven't yet been there either. It was closed yesterday, but maybe we can do something there today.
You're here.
Yes, I am. This shop is really cool. I love the decor.
Thank you. It's taken a lot of years to get it the way I want.
I kind of imagined this is what an actual witch's shop would look like.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Seriously. You have all these herbs. Look, St. John's wort, mandrake root. You know, witches were just synonymous with people who used the old medieval ways of working with plants and animals, curing ills. They were healers, shamans, and confessors. You can see why some people might have been threatened by them.
I know, right? No leeches here, though. I draw the line at bloodsuckers.
Me too.
I'm glad you get it. A lot of people around here don't.
How so?
Some say I'm cashing in, not respecting history.
That's Olivia.
People get so caught up in the death and judgment. But I was always interested in all of that lost knowledge, even as a kid.
I bet a lot of kids around here are fascinated by it.
Used to be.
Maybe kids like May?
You get a lot of people in? Maybe May Perry?
May. That's funny.
Why?
Look, she's had a hard time. She's not the only one. I've been the kid everyone looks at. You need friends to talk to. She doesn't want any.
She has her sister. Tegan cares about her.
Tegan protects what's important to Tegan. Sometimes that's May.
And sometimes, apparently it's not?
I was hoping I could borrow a key to the main Hathorn house.
Key? Oh, I don't have a key anymore.
You don't?
No, but Alicia does. If you ask her, she'll lend it to you, I'm sure.
I'm sure you've been asked this before, but where were you on the night Hathorn house was burned down?
I was coming home from work, crossing through the cemetery. I could see the orange glow. By the time I got home, it was almost all gone. I called it in.
Were you the first one to call? Anyone see you earlier? Like an hour before?
I was in my shop.
Any customers?
No. Are you trying to say that I burned down the house?
No, I never said that.
Good. I've said it 1,000,000 times, but I'll say it again for your benefit. I'm just glad she wasn't alive to see it. She loved that house, and I loved her. You understand?
Of course. You were the first person to see the fire?
Well, yeah. I was going home, and that's where the fire was.
You know the fire might help you keep your home.
I know that now, but I didn't before. It's a slim chance at best. I'd rather it was whole and shown to be mine by right.
But if that's not an option?
Nothing could make me want to destroy it.
See, this is the thing about this. It's like Lauren doesn't seem to have a motive here, other than the, you know, if the part of the house is destroyed, I guess she gets to keep it. I don't understand how that works exactly, but I would like to think that she wouldn't destroy the house, because that would be a very risky thing with an old house. I mean, what if you burned the whole thing down? I mean, it'd be hard to control a fire there. So, I don't know, it just seems a little odd that she would do it. And that's precisely why it feels like she would be the culprit, right? Like, I don't know, it feels a little too perfect, you know?
You ever hear rumors about a coven in Salem?
That's just something Olivia says to sell tour tickets.
Yeah.
I think you believe in that kind of witch.
So you never heard a rumor? As a kid, maybe.
What are you getting at?
I found a photo of you three from when you were kids.
Dun dun dun!
Kept it?
Do you remember where this photo was taken?
Sure. Well, sort of. It was a shed somewhere close to the neighborhood the Perrys live in. We went there a few times.
So, the three of you used to hang out.
In a shed?
Well, that was long ago. We did dumb things. I wish we hadn't. Far as I know, there's no coven of witches, though.
Could it be the shed that may burn down? Also, I'm beginning to think that Coven written on the paper was just like the name of their club thing or whatever. Like, that seems to be rather plausible.
Everyone says there are ghosts in this town. Is that true? What is it?
You know, I believe the dead stay dead. But I've seen ghosts recently in my own house.
Really? Who?
Wait, you believe me? I thought I was going crazy.
I believe there's an explanation. Who was it?
And we saw
I don't
something
know.
too.
A woman, wearing old clothes like the kind you find in Tegan's museum. I couldn't see her face, and I swear she was real. I could hear her, I could feel her. She smelled like rotten fruit or something. You know, that gray, moldy smell that hits you in the back of your throat? Yeah, that.
Huh. That's pretty specific, actually. More specific than anyone else I've talked to.
I saw her in the Hathorn house. Watch out for her. She'll come to you. No doubt in my mind.
That seems awfully specific. And like Nancy said, and also, I don't think a ghost, like a real ghost, would smell. That seems a little odd.
You remember where you were 3 nights back?
I was here. I told you already. I have the receipts to prove it. And I'm the only one who works here. Why?
Oh, no, just a related incident. I don't suppose there are any ghost sightings in your shop?
The spirits come and go as they please. I've seen them everywhere around Salem. But I've never seen one operate a point of sale.
That'd be impressive.
Yeah, me neither. What kind of herbs do you have here?
I was saving this one for last because I knew she would take us to this
The
thing here.
kind that helps people ease their burdens. Since cold season started, business has been booming. Between managing the shop itself and preparing remedies, it's getting harder to keep up.
I don't mind lending you a hand with preparing the remedies, if that's okay with you. I love learning new things.
This is delicate work. But you do seem to have an interest in herbology. Sure, it would be fun to pass on the basics, at least. I'll be around the shop and manage the counter. Just let me know when you have something finished, and I'll take a look at it.
Great. So, where do I begin?
I've prepared the patient notes already. You can find them on the counter. You can use my reference book to study the herbs and what ailments they cure, and the basics of remedy mixing.
Okay. This is gonna be so much fun.
Alright, so looks like we've got a whole bunch of different herbs, as well as this book here.
This book looks really worn. The knowledge must be centuries old, if not more.
For all my children, I write this book as a memory saved, that my knowledge gathered will live on through you. The healing graces given by nature are never to be forgotten, and so I wish for nothing but for you to walk the path our family has been offered. Heed this wisdom, that you won't take life for granted, so spend it in meaning and purpose. Take pride in wisdom learned, and stay humble for what remains unknown. Let's see here. Remedies with nature's grace. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Grind the herbs to unleash their full potential. If the patient's ailment is harsher than usual, add a larger dose of the remedy. Alright, so no more than 3 doses should be added in total. Only add 3 doses of the same herb when the patient's suffering has become unbearable. For most, only 1 extra dose will suffice. So for most, it's 2, I guess. Alright, so this is like a list of all the different things. We have cinnamon, chamomile, rosemary, Our Lady's thistle, garlic, starwort, sweet marjoram, feverfew, sage, and ginger. And then there's a thing here that talks about finding the truth. And I guess this is like this person... What was her name again? Hang on a sec. There seems to be, yeah, Tituba. Speculating about finding like a thing that will help with knowledge, I guess? I don't know. And then there's like a diagram back here on the back. That's kind of interesting. And then there's a piece of paper tucked away there.
No, Nancy, please don't touch that. It's private.
Ooh, well that makes me want to touch even more.
Oh, it's locked?
Yeah, I lost the key to that one, sorry. It has to be somewhere around here. I would never bring it home with me. Let me know if you find it.
Let's use the AW key. Does it not work? I guess not. Oh well.
These are the notes she took when discussing the ailments with her patients. Need to figure out the proper mix of herbs to cure these.
Unbearable high blood pressure. Alright, so we need to add 3 doses of something. Let's see. Blood pressure. That's for stones, I guess? Kidney stones, is that what that is? It's for liver stuff. Rosemary, red pim, okay, nothing there. Stomach problems. For a voice, so that's for voice. That's for throat problems, headaches, sensory stuff. What's the one for blood pressure? Digestion. I'm not seeing anything here for that. Let's just do this. I think this will be... Hard pulse? I don't know. That seems... Yeah, this doesn't seem to be the case here. Yeah, I don't... Bloody flux. I don't know if that's correct. I need blood pressure stuff, guys. I don't know. I'm almost tempted to do garlic. But, I don't know, I'm beginning to wonder if it is actually sage. The thing is, I don't actually know what these look like. Like, that looks like onions. Those are flowers?
Our Lady's thistle.
Oh, okay. So we can actually do this.
Sage.
Okay, so that is sage.
Sage. Sage. Sage.
Can I...
No, this isn't right. Remember to read the patient's note carefully.
Alright, let's do 3 sages.
Sage.
Sorry, you're gonna have to start over. This won't
Okay.
work for those ailments. Sorry, you're gonna have to start over. This won't work for those ailments.
I'm just gonna keep trying them until we get this.
Ginger.
Sorry,
Nope.
you're gonna have to start over. This won't work for those ailments.
I'm just gonna trial and error this, guys. I don't know.
No, this isn't right.
It's not cinnamon.
Remember to read the patient's note carefully.
Garlic.
Look at that. Your first proper herb
It
mix.
was garlic.
Congratulations.
Nice.
Thank you. It's tricky to keep track of everything, but the book really helps.
It's old and worn from use, but full of wisdom. It's taught me most of what I know.
I wonder if this Tatuba person is like an ancestor of Lauren.
A commercial grade tea machine. Fancy.
Yeah, it looks pretty modern. Like this cash register back here looks like an old cash register, but that looks pretty modern. I also want to find this key of hers too. Doesn't look like we can really do anything over here though. We can't snoop around in any of this stuff. We have boxes. This whole place kind of has a very modern shop aesthetic. I don't know, it just has a really warm feel to it. I really like it. Doesn't really look like we can do anything else here though. There's really nothing else to look at. I can't zoom in on anything more except this.
Herbal teas and natural remedies. A whole menu to choose from.
And not only that, but look at these.
Gosh, these pastries look delicious.
I would really love to eat some. Can you give us some as rewards for doing the remedies? Because that would be nice.
These seats look so comfortable. And what a great view of the town square.
Yeah, I really like it in here. I think this is one of my favorite locations so far, I have to say. Alright, so we visited Tegan, we visited Lauren. Let's go over here. Whose car is that? That wasn't there yesterday, was it? Alright, I'm gonna visit Alicia and the judge, and I'm gonna see if there's anything else here, and I think I'm gonna end the video after that. Hey, Nance. How are you doing? I'm okay. Well, maybe not really. Do you need me to come over? No! No, you don't have to. I will if you want me to. Vacation can wait. No, it's fine, really. I just need to keep my nerves calm. Every mystery can be solved. I'll figure this one out. I know you will. Just keep at it. Thank you. Always, let me know if there's anything I can do. Alright. Nancy's kind of giving him a little bit of a cold shoulder, it seems like.
Miss Drew, how can I help you?
Hey, Alicia.
Hi, Miss Cole.
Alicia, please.
Oh, same. Nancy.
Great. So what do you need, Nancy? Any more paper clips, staplers, or perhaps a hammer drill?
I'm more of a pneumatic nail gun type myself.
Ha ha, nice.
You have a hammer drill in here.
In my closet. I'm a bit of a home improvement junkie. You have to be when you live in a house built in the 1800s.
Oh, that's for sure.
Well, thanks, but I don't need any of those things. I do have some questions, though. You mind if I take 5 minutes of your time?
Please. I don't mind.
I'm sure you've heard about the burglary in the court's evidence room.
Yes, unbelievable. You know, I've started asking myself, what is happening to this town? It used to be such a safe place. And now we have arson and break-ins. I'm worried there's a pattern of escalation here. I mean, is this the kind of place I want to raise children in?
Oh, you're trying to start a family.
I mean, yes. But with the amount that I work, when is there any time? I barely have enough time to do my hair in the morning. let alone go on a date after work. And to be honest, the type of people living in a place like Salem is, well, not really what I'm into. How about you?
I have a boyfriend.
Really? He doesn't accompany you on your investigative trips?
Well, he's in college right now, and we see each other when we can.
Uh-huh. You been dating long?
Yeah, a couple of years.
Whoa, just a couple of years?
No one said it was easy, but we figure out how to make it work.
All I'll say is, most men don't understand what we go through. We have to fight to get a seat at their table, and then they want us to go home and be family makers. Some unsolicited advice from one working woman to another? Don't let his plans get in the way of yours.
Of course. They don't.
There seems to be like this parallel thread going throughout the story of Ned and Nancy going through some kind of hard, rough patch or something. It seems like they've got something going on.
Do you know who has access to the evidence room?
As far as I know, just myself and the judge.
That's interesting.
Look, I don't like saying this, but the judge occasionally leaves the evidence room unlocked.
Ooh.
The man even locked himself in his own office, for pity's sake.
Yeah.
Not that it matters. I was told the burglar came from the outside.
So it's safe to say you weren't here during the theft?
Are you liking me for this crime, Nancy?
No, I don't like anyone for this crime. Or any other crime for that matter. Just doing my research.
I was not here. I was running errands around town. Busy, busy, busy.
None of these alibis are really all that great except for Lauren's receipts from her customers.
Do you happen to have the code for the evidence room door?
Nope, sorry. He hasn't given that to me yet. And knowing him, he's probably already lost it.
That wouldn't be too surprising.
Doing some follow-ups with the arson. Where were you that night?
Are you asking for my alibi?
Well, yes, if you don't mind.
I was at a charity fundraiser, saving the piping plovers. Anyone in this town that works in an official capacity can vouch for me. Are you interviewing any of them?
I don't think I'll need to.
I'm a little bit surprised you'd even ask.
Just being thorough.
I can respect that.
Yeah, I guess the other good alibi was Olivia was at that massage thing, and we could have easily called the people there.
Would you mind telling me what you were doing 3 days ago?
3 days ago. All day, or...
Well, any info would be helpful.
Actually, why are you interested in this?
Ooh.
I was in Austria 3 days ago, and witnessed a theft of a historical artifact there that, surprisingly, I believe is connected to this theft.
I see. I was talking to your father about that case.
Really?
Yeah. We chat sometimes. About work. Mostly.
Okay.
Ask him.
Sure.
You're a regular sleuth, aren't you? Picking up other cases now?
Not exactly. It's kind of related to the Hathorn house.
Yeah, let's see. I was home, watching Jason cut the stump out of my front yard.
You hired Jason Danforth for that?
He's cheap. And he can't say no, because he needs the money. Plus, I kinda like watching him suffer a little.
I wouldn't know why.
You know, I could use someone like you. A lawyer is always in need of a good private investigator. If your father would be okay with you working for someone else.
Alicia, I'm my own woman. I work for myself.
Yeah.
You've been very helpful, and I really appreciate it.
Good. Well, when you solve this case, let's talk.
You know, she could be a suspect as well. I'd say she's pretty much up there on my list.
Do you know Lauren Holt?
Owner of Luminous Infusions. Resident of the Hathorn Estate Carriage House.
So do you know her?
Absolutely. I represent her.
How's the case going?
Well, that's a bit of a confidentiality issue. But you are the daughter of a lawyer. So, without a will, there is no case. No one has been able to find it.
And without the will, the house goes to the state.
The law is the law. I can try to get a delay. But we've already delayed twice, and the state doesn't care that someone lives there. It's a tough world out there.
You know,
I spoke with Lauren. She mentioned you have a key.
A key?
To the Hathorn house.
It's the only copy. Don't lose it.
Alright.
Oh, and this really isn't supposed to be in your hands. If someone finds you with it, I might have to say you stole it.
I'll make sure to be discreet. Thanks.
Here to help, Nancy. Hey, next time, please knock before entering, okay?
You know, I think attorney-client privilege still holds up even though I'm the daughter of a lawyer, so I don't think that really matters.
Why did you bring your hammer drill to the office?
Well, after the burglary, we realized that this place was in dire need of higher security. I ordered the keypad online and used the drill to mount it. I just keep forgetting to bring the drill back home with me.
That's impressive.
Yeah, still ended up calling a professional when the thing wouldn't stop beeping.
Interesting. That seems like it will be important somehow.
What did you mean when you said the people here are not your type?
Oh, you probably know by now. You've been around town, right?
I have.
It's all people with minds as small as the town itself. I don't mean to sound harsh, but you can only meet so many with the same mindset before you see a pattern.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Did something happen?
Oh, nothing much. Sometimes I just wish this place would be a bit bigger, you know? More progressive. Imagine a revitalized town.
Do you think that could happen?
A woman can dream.
See you later.
Oh yeah, there was also one other thing here that I caught on my abandoned video that got corrupted. It was this book. Colonial Property Law in Modern Times. We have Vacuum Domicilium. And this is basically about having a claim to a building and the building going back to the state and all that stuff. And it actually mentions the Hawthorne house, so that's pretty interesting. So if there is no legal heir, then it goes back to the state, essentially. So, interesting stuff. Alright, so I think that's all we can do here, so I'm going to visit the judge real quick.
No, Jason,
Whoa.
I have had these protesters outside my window nonstop for days. I must deal with this situation. The longer it goes on, the worse it looks.
Yeah. Ooh, but I'm buying lunch.
You're buying? Really? With what?
You gotta get over this, Dad. It's not good for you. It's not healthy.
What are you talking about?
You resent me.
I don't resent you, Jason. Miss Drew, please, come in. We'll talk later, okay?
Oh, you have time for her, but not for me.
Please, Jason.
Hi, Jason Danforth.
Nancy Drew.
Nancy Drew. You're visiting Salem, yeah? What do you think? Kind of a boring town beneath all the legends.
Yeah.
Jason, come on. We have a meeting.
Actually, it seems like there's a lot going on here.
Well, whenever you're up for some real excitement, look me up.
No thanks, we're already taken.
Sorry, he's still trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life.
Didn't want to follow in his father's footsteps.
Oh, he tried. Didn't have the dedication to follow through with the schooling. Anyway, let's get started.
Sorry about skipping the dialogue there toward the beginning of all that. I didn't mean to do that.
As you know, I want to investigate the crime scene. Could you give me the code for the keypad?
That information isn't usually available to the public. I'm afraid I can't just take your word for it. I'll have it taken care of.
Have what taken care of? Okay, so it looks like we got all the no, we didn't get all the alibis yet.
As you know, I want to...
That information isn't usually...
So I can't actually talk to him. Okay, interesting. Well, it doesn't look like there's anything more to do.
I need to get Judge Danforth's permission before I investigate the burglary. I really should call Dad so he can run this by the judge. I could jeopardize the whole investigation if I was caught snooping around the courthouse without permission.
Good point. Alright, so let's call our dad real quick, and we'll also call Damien since he was relevant to Tegan's alibi.
How's my girl doing?
Hey, Dad. I have a favor I need to ask you.
Of course. Shoot.
I need to investigate inside the Salem courthouse, specifically concerning the burglary in the evidence room. Do you think you could call Judge Danforth on my behalf and get his permission?
Not a problem. You know, this reminds me, next time you see him, you should bring up the Lake Winnipesaukee Regatta.
Dad.
Yeah?
Maybe later.
Sure thing. Talk soon.
Sounds good. Alright, and let's call Damien. He's apparently got glasses.
Hello?
Is this Damien Faulkner?
Yeah? Who is this?
Hi, my name is Nancy Drew. I'm a private investigator currently working the Hathorn House case on behalf of Judge Danforth. Do you mind if I take up a minute of your time?
Go ahead.
Just wanted to follow up on some statements.
Statements made by who?
Tegan Perry.
Yes?
Your girlfriend.
Right.
Where were you?
Sorry, but were these statements given to the police?
No. They were given to me, willingly.
Yeah, sorry. I work for Alicia, and I've learned to make sure that when you're being questioned, you always have a lawyer present. I don't want to sound like I'm guilty or complicit, I just know my rights.
Of course.
But you sound trustworthy.
Oh, thanks. How long have you worked for Alicia?
I've interned for her for a while, but she doesn't really pay attention to me.
You seem to know a lot about legal framework.
I listen to her on the phone. A lot. Anyway, I was with Tegan on the night of the fire. That's what you wanted to know, right?
Yeah. And what did you guys do?
Watched a movie.
Okay. Which movie?
Honestly, couldn't tell you. Tegan picks. You know, they're always some kind of vampire drama, apocalyptic, teenagey, angsty thing. Don't tell her, but I never pay attention. I'm into hard sci-fi.
Oh. Good to know.
That's a great
else,
adjective.
or...
No. Thanks for talking to me.
Yep. Sure. Bye.
I gotta admit, they both sounded a little bit evasive when it came to talking about them hanging out and spending time together. Alright, so we didn't actually complete any of the objectives, but we did get to talk to everybody. And I think next time I'm going to go back to the judge. Oh!
You're all set.
Great. Thanks, Dad.
Awesome.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else?
I'm just really proud of you, Nancy. I don't know how often I tell you that. I think it's not nearly enough.
Thanks, Dad. You know I learned it all from you, right?
Oh, now I know that's not true. The judge told me about a certain lock-picking incident. You certainly didn't learn that from me.
I may have picked up a few extra skills along the way.
I'd expect nothing less. Love you, kiddo. Go get him.
We will do our best, Carson. And, oh, we did get the permission. So we did check one item off the list. I think it was added, though, in the middle of this video. But next time, hopefully we'll finish the rest of them. I feel like a lot of this video was just chatting with people, but that's totally fine. That's always a part of Nancy Drew games. And next time, hopefully we can do some more exploring. So until then, thank you all so much for watching once again. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves today. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that bell to get notified of the next Nancy Drew adventure video. And until that point, thanks so much again, and I will catch you on the flip side. So until then, take care.